Today we're talking about Ashe.
Makes a bow out of ice.
파도가 뭘 싣고 올진 나한테 달렸죠.
So I noticed that every once in a while someone decides to play Ashe in the high Korean elo. And I thought, well, that's interesting. Someone actually didn't play Ezreal. So I decided to look into it. Since like everyone else, Ashe was my first main. With Thornman. And Tears, but moving on. Ashe was never a competitive pick, but she was fun to play. Until now. Since her rework, her passive makes her slow in every auto attack, instead of being a toggle on skill. Since her rework, she cannot critical strike. Instead, she critical slows. Let this sink in a bit. We are talking about an AD carry that doesn't crit. Oh wait, but read everything. Okay. Her passive makes her do extra damage to targets she attacked before, starting at 110% and scaling with critical chance. But what does this mean? If you have an Infinity Edge, all autos after the first will deal 140 damage. Cute. But every other champion will deal 250% damage on crit with the same item. But you might say, on Ashe, you are sure that you'll do extra damage on the second hit, while others is just a chance. Here's a list of AD carries that benefit from auto-attacking the same target. All! But seriously, you have Kog'Maw, Vayne, Varus, Kindred. Tell me, in which occasion will an AD carry with no escapes be able to freely do 5 or even 6 autos against Zed, Fizz, LeBlanc, Draven, Pantheon, Xin Zhao, Draven, Talon, Draven? You get the idea. Listen, if I have Infinity Edge on Kate, I'm sure I'll crit. And when I do, you better hope it doesn't come with the headshots passive. Every champion will do more damage than Ashe with the same items. Which brings us to the next point. Ashe is not about damage, it's about utility. Ashe is an utility AD carry, with actually no utility, which translates to an useless AD carry. If you think slow is useful, keep in mind that every AD carry with red buff will slow. Oh, but Ashe with red buff will slow even more. No, because slows don't stack like that. The strongest slow will prevail. On top of that, most AD carries have slow abilities, and some even have roots, which give 0 points to Ashe. And then there's the E. You send a long range skill shot that gives you vision. It kind of reminds me of an item with very similar cooldown but doesn't take the slot of an ability. It doesn't even take an item slot. And lastly, the ultimate. It stuns, that's it. Should I make a list of all the supports that have an ulti with hard CC? I mean, if you're picking Ashe for the damage, any other AD carry will out-damage her. If you're picking her for the utility, then pick a decent support. Any support will bring more utility and damage. Don't get me wrong, I like Ashe. Like I said, she was my first main, which brings us to my last point. The only reason to play Ashe is because you want. You know she's weaker than she ever was, with no escapes, a joke of CC, you'll end up with lots of assists since you can't finish off kills, you'll die a lot and probably lose the game, but who cares? As long as you're having fun. Far from the record queue!